Hello friends, welcome back to the online classes. Today in the revision, I am taking lesson number 4 from the diary of Anne Frank. The present chapter is an extract from the novel The Diary of a Young Girl. This novel was based on the diary entries made by Anne Frank between 12th June 1942 to 1st August 1944. She was a Jewish girl and had become one of the most renowned and discussed of the Holocaust victims. In this chapter, Anne specifies her reason for writing a diary. She says that she is writing it because she does not have one true friend, and there are a number of things that she wants to get off her chest. So, for her, the diary is actually a friend whom she decides to call Kitty. She starts by introducing herself. Here, she tells us about the early days of her life. She says that she decided to write a diary because she has no friends. She was born on 12th June 1929. She had a sister, Margaret, who was 3 years older to her. She lived in Frankfurt until she was 4. Her father immigrated to Holland in 1933. She was sent to Montessori school and stayed there until she was 6. Then she started in the first standard when she was in 6th standard. When she was in 6th standard, her teacher was Mrs. Cuperus, the headmistress. Both had great love for each other. Her grandma died in January 1942. She confesses that she misses her very much. This chapter is based on her diary entry made on 20th June 1942. In this entry, she talks about the fears and apprehensions of her classmates regarding their promotion to the next form, and however is sure that she will be promoted. She then describes her experience with her mathematics teacher, Mr. Keesing. She writes that one day Mr. Keesing had punished her for talking in the class. He asked her to write an essay on a chatterbox. He liked the essay written by her, but Anne could not give up the habit of talking in the class. The next time, as a punishment, Mr. Keesing asked her to write an essay on an incorrigible chatterbox. Anne again wrote the essay and handed it over to Mr. Keesing. But she still could not give up her habit of talking in class. So, Mr. Keesing came up with an unusual title, Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox, and asked Anne to write an essay on it. Anne wrote this essay in the form of a poem with the help of her friend San. It was about a mother duck and a father swan. The father bit the 3 ducklings to death because they quacked too much. This was a satire on Mr. Keesing. Surprisingly, he took the humor in the right way. He read the poem to Anne's class and other classes too. He allowed Anne to talk in the class and never again gave her extra homework. He now also jokes with her. Now, this is just summary. Now, in this summary, we see that how Anne made this diary as a friend. Now, she was not alone. She had a good family. She had an adorable father, loving mother, caring sister. All of them were there. But she was not, they were not spending time with her to talk to her. Now, we know that she is very talkative and she needs someone to talk. Need someone to listen to her, but there was nobody. So that's why she was not having any friend. She believes that the paper has got more patience than people. That's why she took this diary writing. And in this diary, she describes about her incident with Mr. Keesing. Now, when she was in the school, she starts the diary, say, dearest Kitty. In the class, all the students were talking about whether they will pass or they will be promoted, they will be back, and all those things. And everybody were pointing each other that you will be passed, you will be passed, I will be failed, I will be kept back. And Anne was confident, sure that she will definitely be promoted, except in maths, because she did not like Mr. Keesing, but still she with other teachers, there were 9 teachers in her class, 7 men and 2 women. So rest of them were very good to Anne Frank, but Mr. Keesing was not so good. So when one day, as the class was going on and Mr. Keesing happened to be the maths teacher, he was a bit strict. Now she was going on talking and talking. He got angry and he gave punishment to her to write about the chatterbox. Now she wrote down the topic in the copy and kept in the bag and started thinking that what to write about chatterbox. Came back home, sat in her study room, keeping her hand on the chin and thinking that what to write about this chatterbox. Suddenly she got an idea and she wrote 3 pages on essay for on chatterbox for Mr. Keesing. Now, she gave the argument that the talking is a student's trait, student's technique, student's right to talk. And some of us are too talkative, some of us are less talkative. And for her, it was too much. Then she says that she could not stop. She would control her this habit. But then she says that she cannot do this because her mother is also very talkative. And because of that, she has inherited this thing to her, and that's why she cannot stop talking. Now, again, she started talking, and Mr. Keesing gave another topic for her that she should write that incredible chatterbox. She wrote again a good essay and gave back, but still she could not control her talk, and she went on talking. Finally, he gave again topic, that is quack, 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 stopple, chatterbox. And again she was saying, now this time she took the help of her friend, Sani, and she told that I will take help of her, and they both started writing this essay. But this time she took it as a poem. And that poem, she described a story about a goose, mother goose and father swan. Now the ducks, the ducks are always talking. They always make quack, 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 right? The sound of this. The children were making so much of noise that the father swan did not like, and he got so angry that he bit them to death. Now, when Mr. Keesing read this, he felt a little upset, like first hand, but then he realized the motive of this, what this could have been happened. So he took it as a joke instead of taking as a satire or as a comment, negative comment on him. He took it as a joke and then appreciated Anne Frank for writing such a beautiful poem, and he read the poem in the class as well as any other class. Now, if he had taken in a negative way, then both of them would have had a lot of problems, and maybe Anne Frank would have been thrown after the school. But then he took it as a joke and accepted it that I am pressurizing her again and again for talking. So from then onwards, they both became a very good friend, and he started joking with her. So this was the first entry of Anne Frank in her diary. I believe you might have understood this story. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, have a nice day.